Hiya, so we're going to work in some thoracic extension today, and we're going to work on some horse stance. So we're going to start off here with our feet together, and then from here we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to tilt your pelvis under, so you're really squeezing your bum and feeling the stretch here. And then to start with, we're going to work on arching your back forward. And then you're going to come up and then with your chest really expand and then lift it up like this. And then you're going to roll forward and then you're going to lift up. So from the side, when I'm in horse position here, tucking the tailbone under, and then when I just sit down into it, my tailbone is going to try and stay between my heels. So I'm not sticking my bum back like that, I'm trying to push forward. So I feel a stretch on my hips here. So I'm tucking under and then I'm rounding like this, and then I'm gonna open up and then round and then open up from here. Okay, so from the back, tucking under, rounding, and then opening up, and then rounding, and then opening up. So the next thing, while we're tucking under, feeling the stretch here, next thing I'm going to use the shoulders. So I'm in this horse stance again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when this gets more comfortable, then you can go wider. But to start with, we're going to just do 5. Tuck the tailbone under, sit down into it here. So you feel that stretch here, squeezing your bum. Next thing, we're going to work on shrugging the shoulders and then relaxing them down. So shrugging the shoulders, by shrugging, you're going to create more distance under the armpits and squeezing your bum. So you're going to lift and then try and arch back and then relax. Shrug and lift and arch back like that. Shrug and lift. So you're going to be stretching all under your armpits and then really lifting up like that. Okay? So give your legs a shake out. Next one, we're going to do that on the floor. So you're going to be lying on your back. Okay, so this position. And then what we're going to try and do is, like we did with the horse stance, tuck your tailbone under so you're squishing your back into the floor. But we still want to create an arch in our lower back, sorry. So the tailbone's going to be squished, so we're using the core. But then from our upper back, I'm going to try and open. So there is a gap in my back, like when I'm going to try and do any pressing, my tummy's going to be pulled in, so my tummy's flat, but my shoulder blades are going to be pulled back and down to create a bit of an arch. And then from here, I can try and lift my hands above my head, again, keeping that bit of a gap there. So I'm stretching through my stomach and I'm arching here and then back. So like we did with the horse stance, I'm going to shrug my shoulders up and then arch and lean back. So get my shoulders back, keeping this gap in my back here. But I'm still trying to use my core to keep my hips square, and then I'm using my upper back to arch and open to give myself space and stretch all through my chest here. So I'm stretching, using the arch to help myself here, and then from here what I can do is I can just give myself a little bit more room by tilting from side to side, and I'm really stretching through my shoulder, so shrugging, getting a stretch through my chest here. Okay, and then the next one is going to be onto our front. So we're going to be working through that happy cat and angry cat, coming up and down. Now, this time, we're going to be trying to squeeze your bum. So you're going to go into this neutral position, so not the upward, not the downward, in the middle. Then I'm going to tense my bum as hard as possible and try and sit down into this position. If it's a bit uncomfortable with your feet, then you can turn your toes under like that and try and sit back into it. Okay, so this position, we're holding that core tight, squeeze your bum and sit down into the position here. Now this time, as I sit down into it, I'm going to lift my shoulders forward, like the shrug that we've just done. So I'm going to squeeze my bum. As my bum goes back, my shoulders are going to lift, and I'm going to create that distance between my bum and my shoulders, and then relax up. So shrug the shoulders up, squeeze the bum and push back, and then come up, lift, shrug, and squeeze my bum, push back, and then up, squeeze, lift up, push my bum back. Okay, so the next one then is dropping the hips down onto the floor, but what we're going to do is come through this extended position. So before we go down, I'm going to work on this position. So we're either going to have your toes fixed down or put your toes here. We're going to tilt the pelvis up, squeeze your bum nice and hard. So this is anchoring us down. Now from here, I'm going to push my hips forward so you feel it in the quads. This is all locked in now. So if I do flexion or extension, it's coming through this part of my back. And then again, I can shrug my shoulders and lift up, and then I can come into this tuck position. Up and then back. So I'm lifting, I'm working all through my shoulders, but keeping this really tight through my quads, through my bum, keeping my abs in. So I'm working through my upper back, rounding. So then when I come down into the floor, and I'm going to start dropping my hips towards the floor here, I'm going to, instead of just dropping down like this, I'm going to keep my tummy tight and think about extending through my chest. Okay, so I'm not dropping through this position here, I'm more lifting through my chest. So with my t-shirt, it's the triangle, I'm lifting up towards the ceiling here. So I'm pulling the tummy in and I'm trying to lift up towards the ceiling. And then the same thing like we've been doing is lifting and shrugging the shoulders. So I'm trying to create distance between my top of my shoulder and underneath my armpit to stretch all under here. So here, pull the tummy in, look up, and then shrug my shoulders, and then drop my hips down slightly like that. And then I can sit back onto it, shrug my shoulders, sit back, and come all the way down. And then forward, shrug the shoulders, pull the tummy in, more lift with the chest compared to drop the hips. And then one more, shrug the shoulders, create that distance, squeeze your bum. And then one more, come forward, pull the tummy in, shrug the shoulders, lift with the chest. And then just give your hands a little wiggle like that. Okay, so that's working on extension through the chest, so lifting the chest, keeping this tight, and then shrugging and forward and lifting back and forth. Okay, cool.